All right, in this video, we're going to talk about how and when to shift pressure in our feet. Now, some of you may refer to this as weight shift. I tend to use pressure because most often we want to see a relatively neutral center of mass in our body, and we really don't want our body shifting too much left or right. So when we start talking about pressure shifting, it's noticing how we can actually move the pressure in our feet, but not really change our center of gravity or our mass to a certain extent. So if you were to say, we want to put majority of pressure, say, on my left leg, there's a few people that we might actually do something similar to this because that has pressure, where some might actually just take their right foot off, and that's 100% pressure. And that's kind of more what we're looking at. So I'm going to bring in this board. Now this board is just a simple teeter-totter. Now it's not going to give us exact pressure numbers of left side, right side like our body track pressure mat can do, but it's simply going to show us more than 50% or less than 50%, which for this video is good enough. So some basics when we're starting the swing. Now I'm going to try my best to use lead side, trail side, just so we can go back and forth for right-handed and left-handed golfers. So at setup, this is one thing that I typically do with most students when we start. You're going to actually want to find that the majority of good ball strikers, nearly all of them, are going to have more pressure on their lead side, so for me, my left side, than their right. This kind of acts like a little bit of a stability kind of platform, but also helps us to initiate some power and some pressure shift if we want to move it to the right. If we start on the left, it's easier to feel pressure shift to the trail side, versus if we stay on our trail side, like I see most golfers do, there's really not a powerful shift to the right or trail side. Really all they're going to do is just kind of lift up, and then they're already stuck on this side. So starting with the pressure on the lead side helps a little bit of fluidity and motion as we are starting the backswing. So as we start majority on the lead side, and as we take the club back, obviously our arms, clubs, these all have a weight. So as they start moving outside of our body, we're going to probably see the right side or trail side go down. Now what that's going to show is now we may have majority of pressure onto our trail side. Now the one key is I really don't want my head, center of my hips, or the center of my chest to really move, but as I move back, there's likely going to be some pressure going this way as the club and my momentum is going this way. Now, once we get up to the sort of the top of the backswing, that's when we're almost starting to recenter. Now, when we talk about this, the most important aspect is that when we get back into impact, we have the majority of the pressure back into our lead side. Now, for some players, shifting too much onto the right side makes them shift too much on the left side. And as you can see, the center of my body is moving back and forth. Now, when that's happening, we're not able to really control where this club is hitting the ground as consistent. So where I like to see this, and this is kind of sort of a light bulb or aha moment when some students do it well, but as we go from lead side down to the top of the backswing, trail side down, if we don't move our center of mass a lot, now there is going to be a little bit of a shift, but our key from this top of the backswing is to get that left or lead side down. If you can do that, now I know I have majority of pressure on my lead side, so that I can now deliver that club into that ball. So many of the golfers that hit the ball fat will likely come back, and either they don't get it onto the left side at all, or they do it so late that they actually strike behind the golf ball. So if you're a golfer that kind of hits behind the golf ball, to start, we may not even really want to feel like we're shifting our pressure to this trail side, because if we shift too much to the trail side, we can't get back to the left side. So if we're training this, I would say stick to that left side, or lead side, my apologies, and try to hit some shots focusing on getting that pressure onto that lead side early. That should help us correct any of those fat shots, hit the ball a little bit more solid. So try this at home, like our other videos. Comment below if this is helping. Bye for now.